Look for it, find it, make it your own. It's the Get Thrifty Podcast.
Welcome back to the Get Thrifty Podcast, brought to you by ARC Thrift Stores. ARC Thrift Stores is a nonprofit thrift store chain, and I am your host, Maggie Civic, and we are all about sharing everything that has to do with shopping secondhand. So if you're part of our unique thrift culture, please contact us. We would love to promote your business and your social channels and share your stories and advice with our listeners. You guys, I'm very excited for today's guest. Leanne Rodriguez is the high priestess of Kitsch, the reigning queen of retro relief, and the first person to be brave enough to ask, what if I turned Jell-O and deviled eggs into fine art? We're dying here. Born with a glue gun in one hand and a copper gelatin mold in the other, allegedly, Elrod has carved out a surreal, nostalgic universe that fuses her Mexican culture, 1960s kitsch, and an unapologetic sense of whimsy. Her signature food sculptures and infamous deviled egg clocks have been cultural icons, so iconic, in fact, they've been copied more times than mid-century casserole recipes passed around the neighborhood potluck. But make no mistake, Elrod is the originator, the innovator, the blueprint. Her work went cosmically viral when none other than Pee Wee Herman, I know we're going to ask, shared her creations online in February of 2021, causing the internet to erupt like a fruit gelatin mold that was never properly set. Overnight, Elrod's sculptures rocketed through cyberspace, delighting nostalgic aunties, art critics, and extremely kitschy art collectors. With a practice rooted in humor, cultural memory, craftsmanship, and the gleeful absurdity of everyday objects, Leanne Rodriguez continues to reshape the landscape of contemporary kitsch, where everything is just a little tacky. Leanne Rodriguez, welcome to the show.
Hi, Maggie. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
We're so excited. I got your talk track and the producer called me and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. So I'm super excited to have you. You are an artist. I want to hear your whole story, but let's start off strong with the easiest way to find you on socials so that people can reach out and send you their love and follow you as they listen.
Sure, of course. I have a social media legacy under the name of Mexakitsch, Mexakitsch. It's not just my social handle, but it is my identity, my cultural identity. But yeah, so basically, if there's any social media that I'm on, that's where you'll find me under that name.
Super easy. And you can just Google her, guys. She's all over the place. I mean, I'm obsessed with I went down the rabbit hole of all of your different socials and you have such great, vibrant, eccentric content. But I want to back up. How did we get here? How did you find this world? What happened? We need your origin story.
Which world are we talking about? Where does the legend begin? Well, it was a beautiful Thursday morning in 1985.
Yes. Exactly.
Born and raised in Southern California, so raised in the heat of the Inland Empire. I relocated to the Bay Area of California in 2008, and I did that following my older brother, who's also an artist. He's a musician, and he was in culinary school. And so he basically told me, you are a fool if you're going to stay in Southern California. You're an artist. You need to be up here. And I had a whole life, but just hearing my brother, one person I really look up to more than anything, just give me that bit of advice. I didn't even second think it. I packed up everything. I moved. I came to San Francisco. And it all just, everything, as soon as I made that move, the universe just put everything in place for me.
Oh, interesting.
To be an artist. Yeah, no, all kinds of really great opportunities just started falling in my lap. And I am one to take advantage of every opportunity that comes my way. I don't care how small or how big it is. I will do it. So I think just having that mentality just set me up for being in a world of success in the arts, especially in the Bay Area.
And I love that. I too am from Southern California. You're from Riverside, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so a little south of there is where I grew up in Orange County, but you're absolutely right. So many people, especially artists, end up in that Bay Area. Are you in the heart of SF? Are you in Berkeley? Kind of give us your location.
So I'm now currently in Sacramento. I started my journey in North Beach of San Francisco, which is my favorite, neighborhood in the city. But I got a job at an art university that's there at the school in the city. And I started from the bottom and worked my way up. But the whole time I was working for them, I was kind of bouncing around the Bay Area. So I did my good stint in San Francisco proper, and then I went to Berkeley Hills for about 5 years, and then I
Paying
went
your
to
dues. I
Oakland.
love it. I love it.
Yeah, I went to Oakland. Most recently, I went to Walnut Creek, which is more of a suburb of the Bay Area, which is where my thrifting story really takes off. So keep that down. We'll touch back on that.
Yes, and Walnut
So,
Creek area. Okay, keep going.
so
I'm here
I
for it.
did the whole Bay Area tour basically, and I can't tell you which city is better than the other. They're all amazing. They all have their own subcultures and their own life and the own thing that makes them special. So I have a very special, deep place in my heart for many cities in the Bay Area.
I love that area, and it is just filled with artists, but you have a really unique kitschy vibe. What drew you to that kind of, wild, eccentric, mid-century? I mean, it's like literally something out of Haight Ashbury. How? Why? How did it happen?
I mean, it all goes back to glitter. Glitter
Mm,
has been my favorite medium to work with ever since I started making art. My art journey literally started with just a little bit of sparkle, and that's why I've just held on to it, embraced it, and in doing so, I've just made very authentic art. But I'm one of those people, like, if there's something sparkly in the room, I am the moth that is like just like slowly making its way towards the light. Like, I'm so attracted to it. And I've actually learned, I heard this from another person who has the taste for sparkle, is that or people like me, these humans are so attracted to things that are sparkly because it initiates a primal instinct in us that where the sparkle reminds us of water or the glimmer of water. And us
interesting.
as creatures, our main goal in this lifetime is to just get water because that's what we need to live.
Yeah.
And so it will actually make me salivate if I look at glitter. And that totally explains why. When they told me that, I said, oh, it's all starting to make
Oh my
sense.
gosh, are you a water sign too? Now I'm curious.
I'm not. I'm a Libra.
Interesting. It's
I
all
know.
so funky. Okay, but there's like a scientific backed reason that you're actually into this. I kind of love that.
Apparently, yes. Even just talking about it, I felt it like right here, just thinking about the sparkle. But no, it's just I fully embraced it, and I worked. I told you at an art school and art university, so I was surrounded by academics and figurative and historical art, and I was just around really studious artists who really taught me, like, you just work on it every single day. You practice your craft every single day. And I stayed true to myself and I worked alongside them with my glitter and I started to develop techniques. And that's when I got into resin because I found out that the relationship between resin and glitter are like, it's synonymous because glitter loves light. And when you pour resin over glitter, it's like putting a light lens over it, makes it more sparklier.
So cool.
So when I realized this, I pretty much took it upon myself to blur the lines of fine art and crafting. And I wanted to see materials that are typically used for crafting used on gallery walls or shown on gallery walls. And so I just started to put it out there and people loved it and people could not get enough of my humor and the sparkle. And I just became known for that.
It really is fascinating. Some of your artwork, I mean, it looks like you could just take a bite out of it.
Thank you.
So let's kind of talk about that and how you kind of use recycled items, craft items like that, to create these works of art.
Yeah, so early in my career, I just really embraced the concept of being a mixed media artist because I
Mhm.
don't like being pushed into a corner with my art supplies. I've always just kind of, collected my little trinkets, like a little crow. Like I would just pick up all little shiny objects and then figure out how to, line them up properly, get the composition using them. And so it just felt so bridging the gap between craft and fine art and get the bridging the gap between your youth and your adulthood. Like it's just some things I'm not willing to let go of. And my youth and my craftiness is always going to be a part of me. Like I'm always going to pull that along in my journey, so.
It's just exciting to watch all of these things kind of evolve, and you can buy your pieces, correct?
Oh yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All of them are for sale. Okay. I just
Oh
want to
yeah,
make
every
sure.
month.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
So tell us about like your love of food and how it like ties in with the mid-century modern of it all and gelatin molds. How did this come up? What happened? Was there like one
Well,
piece that took it over the edge?
I mean, how do we want to just get into it? Because this is going to be the onslaught of the whole history of Elrod, or the current history
Yes.
of Elrod.
Give it
Okay,
to
so
us.
like I mentioned, resin. Resin became one of my main mediums. I did not put out a piece of work, and this is even with my paintings, unless it had a coat of resin on it. It's just, again, the luster was just so enticing for me. So I've just always used that medium. As I progressed, I've always wanted to be more sculptural and 3D with my work. Instead of just having flat paintings on the wall, I want to just kind of push that concept a little more. And so I would say probably in 2018, 2019, I started to realize that Jello and resin kind of hold a lot of the same properties. And so,
That's wild right there. That's
and
wild.
honestly, I can't tell you how many I say. So I collect vintage cookbooks. It's one of my favorite things to thrift. And there's pages in gelatin cookbooks where they explain to you the tips and tricks of how to make, these really fancy gelatins and how to do it properly. And so many of these methods I applied to my artwork and using the resin instead, and it totally just jived. And so it felt right.
Wait, so you use these ancient recipes that are like, some of them are really dead, I mean, only people like you are like bringing them back to life, and you just replace the jello with resin.
Essentially, yes. I know.
I
So,
mean, I'm floored. This is amazing.
but my real love for fake food probably began when sometime in my late teens, um, I was really obsessed with the sushi displays at sushi restaurants, the
Oh,
fruit.
oh, oh, yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever seen the videos of how they make them, but a lot of them are made from wax, like candle wax, colored wax. And there's these really great videos on YouTube that I became insanely obsessed with. This is like
Oh
in the
my
early
gosh.
days, and they're showing you how these artists craft those pieces. And there's just something about that made me feel like, yeah, I want to get into this. And so I've always just had this, I was so enticed by it, the fake food concept and the method of making it, that these things just all kind of like balled up together. You know what I mean? I'm like a snowball. Like I just get like bigger. I just carry everything with me, and
Yeah.
it just, eventually erupts into like, whatever it's going to be. But yeah, Japanese fake food is what really
What
got me.
started it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I found out not too long ago that there's actually a district in Japan that is nothing but fake food stores.
What? Where you can buy
Yes.
this stuff to display at your.
Yes, you can buy it for restaurants or for whatever, for photography.
See, that is wild. I always say I learned something new on my podcast every single time I interview somebody, but this is wild.
Oh my God, it's amazing. I forget the name of it. It's around the tip of my tongue. But yeah, it's a whole district of just fake food restaurants. So there's like a burger store, there's like a dessert store, there's a sushi store. So yeah, eventually I'm gonna have to make the pilgrimage over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They may need you as an artist.
they might. I mean, they're really good at it though. They're kicking butt over there.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like masters of the craft for sure. I still feel like a student.
So can you kind of walk us through, because I think a lot of people who listen to this pod are like, trying to build their social media network, they're trying to build their community. Kind of walk us through your journey of that. Like, how did this become something that you decided was cool to share online?
Mhm. I was very anti-social media for a long
Oh,
time. Like
interesting.
when MySpace like hit the scene, and Facebook and all that, I was very anti. Like I was like a little grungy rock and roll kid that just thought whatever's cool, I don't want to be a part of that. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So I really pushed it off for a long, long time. But when I moved up here to the Bay Area, I didn't want to lose contact with all my friends. And so I said, you know what, fine, I'll start my social media. And I did it reluctantly.
Mhm.
And in doing so, I make art all the time. It's what I do. Like I literally like wake up and just begin thinking of like what I'm going to make for that day. And it just made sense just to start showing it. This is what my friends know me for. I'm going to put my art out there online. Now this is like in 2009, maybe 2010, when I finally decided to start my social media. And I have been organically building up my audience since
Since
then.
then. Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, you do the math, because I'm not, I'm dyslexic. So you do the math.
I avoid math too. Trust me.
Yeah. And so It's been a long time, and I tell people all the time, or younger artists or younger folks who are trying to make it, there's no formula you can follow to get the crowd and to get the audience. The only thing I can recommend to you is to be as authentic as possible so you attract the people who really are into you and your art. Because I feel like that's what I've done. I've attracted this really amazing, supportive, educated community that are like my foundation. I would be nothing without my supporters. And I don't even like calling them followers. I mean, it's such a weird term.
Yeah.
I call them my supporters. Like that makes more sense to me. It feels better for me to say that
Yeah.
about myself.
And
Yeah.
you've built this over time. I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it wasn't overnight. You had to stay consistent. You had to do a lot of it.
Yes. It wasn't overnight until Pee Wee Herman hit the scene. Up until then, it was a very, yeah, we'll get there. It was a very slow build up. I put myself into at least one gallery art show a month, and that's very
Cool.
doable in San Francisco. Most artists or other artists outside, depending on what your city is like and how many galleries they have, that could, that might not be a thing you can do. But for me, it was because you throw a rock and you'll hit a gallery in San Francisco.
Wow.
And so I made a point to put my art out there as much as possible. And every show I applied to, they hung my stuff up on the wall. So
Wow.
I have almost 100 art shows under my belt just because of that era where I was so into it. But that's how you get your name out there. It's important. I tell people this too. It's important to have a physical presence in your scene or in whatever you're trying to do, and not to just have it online, because it's not guaranteed to impact people, whereas in person you're much more likely to create an impact or lasting image on somebody when they experience something rather than like the blue screen in front of us. And so I tell artists that all the time, like, you have to get active in your scene, and if there is no scene, you have to make it yourself. Like, I believe in the Wayne's World method. I call it the "if you build it, they will come." The
Yeah.
Wayne's World 2, when he put on the concert and none of the bands were showing up, but eventually they did. So I believe in that concept. If you don't have a scene, you can build it yourself and you can create your own. Like, you are in charge of your own immediate destiny.
That is great advice. And it's just like a thrift store. People still want to touch it. They want to feel it.
Oh yeah, no, I know so many people are worried about, especially artists are concerned about AI, and that's like a whole other like discussion to talk about. But I tell people, yes, things are digital and technology will always advance, but I think there will always be a need for like pen to physical paper or people to put hands on physical things. Like, that will never leave us. And I think even more as technology evolves, I think those needs for like the physical realness intensifies. So I
Yeah.
tell artists, I'm like, don't be discouraged by people like, putting in a prompt and getting their work instead of like hiring you. Like, there's still going to be people that will like demand a real person create the artwork. So don't be scared. Just keep working and keep, honing your skills.
Yeah. People will crave that realness and that authenticity, the
Mhm.
touch and the feel. Oh, that gives me hope, because the AI of it all definitely, has us all quaking at this point, especially in these kind of artistic, marketing kind of roles. We're like, uh-oh, this could be nerve-wracking. So,
Yeah, it's bizarro land right now, but
mhm.
just, stay the course, you guys. Don't
Don't give up.
don't give up.
All right, you got to tell us about this term, snaxidermy, because I'm obsessed. I mean, I love getting a new word that we can, use on the podcast going forward. Do we have your permission, and have you trademarked this amazing phrase, vintage snaxidermy?
It's funny you ask. It is in the process right now.
Good.
So I'm waiting to
Good.
get it. There's a few things that are actually in the works, which are absolutely necessary when you get to a certain level and you want to protect your work, which is
Mhm.
hard to do in the arts, but you find someone who can give you good advice and try your best to protect it.
Mhm.
But snaxidermy, yeah, that's just a term that I came up with when I think I was just sitting there looking at all of my work, and I was like, oh my God, this is like a total like room of like taxidermy jellos and like fake foods.
Thank-
Right. And then, I love play on words like Mexicitch, like that was another one I came up with. And so snaxidermy just came out extremely naturally and fluidly. And it made me laugh. And for me, like, if something doesn't make me laugh or smile, it's not really worth my time. Like, I know you can learn things in like solemn moments, but to me, like, the zest of life is laughter. Like it's the
Oh,
whole. So it's why I'm here, to put a smile on people's faces. So yeah, I said it. I could not stop laughing, like slapping my own knee laughing, and then that was it. That just became like one of my terms.
I mean, it really is fun to see you use that kind of thing because it's the perfect explanation of some of your artwork that looks like these like intricate jello molds. Well, tell us the evolution of that because you've done, I mean, they look so real. They're so gorgeous. I mean, they look like you could just take a bite out of them. Give
And you
us the background.
better have a good dentist on
I know
call.
that resin is hard as a rock.
And poison
Doesn't resin
control.
get harder over time? Is it
It,
like
it,
concrete?
Resin is, she's a cruel mistress. It depends on the batch that you get, to be honest with you. No, really, that is not an easy medium to work with. I poured
Incredible.
probably over 1,000 gallons in my art career to
Wow.
learn all these things. But it could either stay rock solid and translucent for a really long time, or it's a plastic, so depending on like what kind of weather you live in, like if you're in extreme cold, it could slightly shrink. If
Ooh.
you're in like extreme heat, it might like expand a little bit. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like this anamorphic like object. So even though it's fake and I made it, like there's still a life source that these things hold, and you won't know until time tells you. Yeah, so it's a tricky medium for sure, but I'm like it's like I can't get away from it.
And when you finally had like you're dead and gone, but hopefully that doesn't happen for many, many moons, but your
Mhm.
estate sale is going to be like a line around the block.
That's the only reason why I do what I do.
That's
That's
amazing.
the only reason I live in an environment such as this.
So cool.
Yeah, I can't help it.
Were your parents into mid-century? I mean, what got you into these wild colors? I mean, you are straight out of the like late 60s, early 70s. It's
Yeah, how
amazing.
did that happen, huh? Um,
Amazing.
I have no, my parents are totally normal people.
Uh, are they still in Riverside or do they follow you to the Bay?
No, one's up here and then one's still down in Southern California. But no, they're totally normal and we're not
Adorable.
artists at all. Yeah. I take that back. My mom's a writer and she's an amazing writer, so she technically does have the arts in her. But no, all of this came from my grandmother.
Interesting.
I lived with my grandmother from when I was 13 till about 20, 21. And she was my best friend. And I was just, I spent a lot of time with her and she was enamored with everything from the past, like the golden era of Hollywood and all these starlets. And that's when I became really enamored with people like Raquel Welch or Sophia Loren, our girl Dolly Parton, Priscilla Presley. Like these are all just women that I looked up to as like the ultimate goal of like femininity and like, classiness and the big hair. Like that's where my love for it really just started. So as a teen, I was really enticed by these things. And as I got older, I think I just became more exposed to people who were in the vintage community. I've really kept to myself most of my life. Although I have a big community, a lot of friends, I am totally the loner artist at heart. Like I
Yeah.
live in solitude creating most of my time. And so I'm not really affected by like what's happening now, like in, like fashion and like what's the trends. And it's like, I can't be bothered. I like what I like and I'm just going to stay in my little hole and, you know, let
Which
that
is
kind
the
of like,
best place to be, when
I
you're an
mean,
artist like that.
it worked for me.
Talk about the thrift stores in your area and like how you utilize them because it seems to me, I mean, like I'm looking behind you and I feel like you shop this for just everyday life too, correct?
Oh yeah, I'm a collector for sure.
Amazing.
So in the Sacramento area, which is where I live now, it
Sure.
has an incredible thrifting scene
Mm,
and mid-century community point blank. I moved out here literally just because of the house that was available to rent. And it's a weird story, but the house actually emailed me when I was looking for places to live. I swear to God, Zillow sent me a random email and it was this house, and it's a 1957 style ranch house in Sacramento
wow.
with so many original details in it that are just jaw dropping. And the price was right. And I put out, the email, and me and the landlord connected like this. Like he's an elder gay who owns a vintage store and plays music, and
Perfection.
Dude, he's a DJ in West Hollywood. Like it's me and him are like kismet. We became besties like instantly. So I moved into his house. So I came out here and it just now I'm fully, enveloped in this like world. Like I'm living in like my fantasy basically.
Yeah. I
And
mean, it really
so
looks like, is this wallpaper? I have to know. Is this
that is wallpaper, yes.
I mean, and you're keeping the original pieces. Like you're rescuing a piece of history. One of our guests often says about shopping secondhand. How do you feel about sustainability? Is that kind of a piece of your brand as well?
It can be. I mean, I don't focus on it so much in terms of my artwork, but personally, I do. Like, I'm so frustrated with so many products that are out there, specifically vacuums. I have a bone to pick with the vacuum industry.
What? Tell us more.
I mean, everything is plastic. Every single piece of
Oh,
our vacuum
element. Yeah.
are plastic. And I can't tell you, like, just the other day, I was winding up my vacuum and a piece went like, and just like shot off and like hit the walls and bounced back. And I'm sitting there like, what is happening? And then the belt on it broke. Anyways, the point I'm getting to is I feel like nobody remembers how we would have to go and buy bags, like packets
Oh,
of
yeah.
3 bags at a time to put inside our vacuum cleaners. And if your vacuum got messed up or broken, you took it to the store down the street.
Repair guy.
There's a
Yeah.
repair guy that specialized in Bissell's and Dirt Devils. And you had the same vacuum for like 30 or 40 years.
Literally.
Like I am desperately searching for a Hoover with like a box of bags that come with it. So I don't have to insure this because
You might find that at a thrift store. My husband has a
looking.
Hoover. He loves his. Yeah.
This house came with one of those ones that's like the hose vacuum, and then like
Oh,
the vacuum is like a saucer shaped thing that you drag.
wow. Those are old school.
Yeah, that was part of the reason why I was like, I need this house.
Yeah. It is kind of fun to do that. We moved here from Southern California, moved to
Yeah.
Colorado, and we have the original washer and dryer. And occasionally that washer will bite the dust. And I'm like, Mark, what are you going to do? He buys a $10 part. He gets a little messy. I shut the door. He comes out and it's working again. So I miss those things too.
So that's like my era I'm in right now. So like my vacuum again, I just like, it just ricocheted into like a few pieces. And I said, no, they're not getting any of my dollars, any of my new dollars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fix this thing. And so I'm learning how to like take it apart and replace parts and keep it going. So I'm in an era of I'm not replacing, I'm fixing instead. Really,
not buying new.
no,
Secondhand.
I'm not buying new, I'm refurbishing, I'm upcycling as much as I can. So that's like a personal practice. Now, in terms of my art, I try to get as much true vintage as I can as possible. But sometimes it's just a matter of aesthetics, like I try to collect vintage glass cake stands mostly for a lot of my pieces because they're just so beautiful.
Oh, the perfect way to display these. Yeah.
Thank you. And those are hard to find. And if you do find them, sometimes they're really expensive. And so I'll have certain times where I'll be enticed just to buy a new one from Home Goods because it is so pretty and the perfect color. And so even though it's not like, it goes against like my values of thrifting, sometimes it really is just about the final product and the look.
Yeah. And you have to deliver on an art project. Now, let me ask you about the copper molds. Are you still seeing those in the wild
all the
in
time.
Sacramento?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Guys, put Sacramento on your list.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah, no, Sacramento is great. There's a really good population. You can actually drive around Sacramento and still find tons of like googie architecture buildings.
Oh,
And like there's a really wonderful mid-century scene out here. And I think it's like reflected in the thrifting because I could regularly go thrifting and find all kinds of mid-century art, like especially art. All my paintings in my house have been thrifted and they are like, they're so good.
yeah, such a great area. And it's probably coming up from the Bay Area too. I mean,
oh, for sure.
Right? Okay. All right. So I have a note on here. I love it when my producer, like the morning of a podcast, will send me like, hey, couple side notes. And this is killing me. You have some theories on thrift store music, and I need to understand what that's all about.
I do. Well, I do think, how do I word this? I should have thought about this more eloquently when I told her that because I don't think I've totally formulated and educated
Oh,
dissertation.
it's evolving though. That's good.
It
We
is
can talk it out.
evolving.
Let's talk it out.
Okay, well, first of all, so this first one is I believe there's a direct correlation to the music that's played in the thrift store and your success. So, like,
Interesting.
I absolutely, so like my thrift store that I love to go to, I go in there and they're playing like the Cramps, and like I'll hear some like, old school punk rock in there. And it's like a very, like, everyone's in there. It's a Goodwill.
Mhm.
And but like I consistently find the jams there, like, and the hits. Like I find gold in my thrift store. But if I go to somewhere where they're playing more of like, I don't know, how do I say this more politically correct, but they're playing like granny music, and you go in there, that wasn't politically correct. And you go in there and it's more like shabby chic and like farmhouse, which is like, yes, like there's a time and a place, but I can open the door to a thrift store without even looking, and I can hear the music, and I will tell you if it is my
To
kind of
find
thrift or
something.
not. Yes.
You know what? That would not surprise me at all. It's so funny. I always I try and give access to it because we use some service or whatever, but I
Mhm.
let the manager always pick the music because, they know their neighborhood, they know their
Yeah,
vibe, they
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So I 100% agree with you. It's a vibe. It's
It is.
definitely like going to determine. And it's funny because it really does draw a certain crowd to. That's fascinating.
Yes. And now the second one, this is more of a personal truth.
Yeah.
But I don't know if anybody else has this, but I have what I call my power thrift song. And this has happened to me 3 times now. And that's why it's now fact instead of just hypothesis. But when this specific song plays, I am for sure finding a gold item in there. Like I am for sure hitting a treasure whenever I hear this song come on.
It's the thrift gods. What are they playing?
Ah, take my breath away. Whenever,
That's hilarious.
like when I walk in and you hear the notes that dum dum, like those two
Yes.
notes, I know, like I'm like, where is it? There's a treasure in here, and it has happened to me every single time.
And it's the thrift gods will lead you to said
Yes,
treasure gem.
yeah, it's like the thrift version of like the clouds parting and the angels singing. It's like the doors open and I hear my song and I say, yes, I am
Yes,
here.
it's all meant to be.
Yes,
Okay, now you got to go back and you got to tell us about your viral moment with Pee Wee Herman because I'm feeling like it we've held it off long enough. I'm
yes.
dying to know and the piece that kind of did this for you.
Sure. So let me scoot back. I know we bounce around a little bit
Yeah, we
because
were bouncing, but
this
I
is
knew
fine. This is conversation. It's what gals do. This is what we're here for. So started off as a painter. I was a painter for many years. I was convinced I would be a painter for the rest of my life.
Mm,
Boom, COVID. So like
there's
basically,
always a COVID story.
so that's it. The art you're seeing now is my COVID story.
Interesting.
Yes. So like I mentioned, I work with resin. Resin is very expensive. Like
Mm.
it is not cheap. And it's very expensive, especially if you're making a lot of mistakes and you're doing trial and error. So anyways, I was no longer commuting to work every day because of COVID. We were sheltering in place. And so I was working from home. And as a result of working from home and not going out and enjoying life, I was saving a lot of money.
Mm.
And so all of a sudden I had,
Resin money.
I had resin money. Yeah, I had, fuck, or no, I don't want to say this. Mess around, find out money, as they call it. I forgot to ask about
No,
cussing.
that's fine.
I shan't and I shan't. I won't do it. So, but it was my mess around, play around money. And so in lockdown, I just kind of decided, well, let's switch it up. Like I have the funds to make this crazy art. Let's go for it. And that's when it just became, it left my sketchbook and became a real physical thing sitting on my table. And I remember making my very first Jello sculpture, and it was the Franks and veggies aspect. And so it had cocktail weenies and vegetables in it. And
Delightfully gross.
it
Delightfully
is
gross.
it's so disgusting and so beautiful. It looked like a crown jewel.
I
Just
mean,
how,
the colors are so vibrant. It's incredible.
and that's exactly what happened. I made this thing and I sat there and I looked at it and I was like, I could make like 1,000 of these in so many different ways. Like the
Wow.
the realization of the inspiration and the realization of working with food as your inspiration is literally an endless well of ideas and concepts.
Yeah.
And you can tell that by my art. I rarely make two things or the same thing like twice, except for like my clocks or certain things. But there's just so much inspiration that I'm not even enticed to remake things. I just keep wanting to explore and go on and on. So I made these works, and I would say it was about 9 months. Let's see, 9 months to make the work, and then so that was in 2020 when I made the first Jello. 2021 January, I got contacted by Pee Wee's publicist. Their name is Rusty, and they're amazing. And they saw my work and reached out to me. And the reason they saw my work was because they're in the same art circle of mid-century lovers in the East Bay of San Francisco area.
Who knew?
So
Wow.
yeah, so it was just like a matter of time for them to see my art. Became enamored, showed Pee Wee, and apparently, Pee Wee Herman lost his mind and said, I want to put this girl on all my social media,
Yeah.
talk to her. Like, this is incredible. Like, just became enamored by my work. I gotta try not to cry. Whenever I think of Pee Wee Herman, I want to cry.
Yeah. I mean, it really does. Your stuff looks like it's right out of Pee Wee's Playhouse.
It does. And he is such a wonderful, beautiful soul, another incredible artist. And my life changed because of him, because he put
Interesting.
my work on his social media. So I was on his Instagram, his blog,
Wow.
his Facebook. I forget where else he put me, maybe his Twitter. And that was like the moment where like I woke up and I had like another like 20,000 people following
Wow.
me like overnight. You
Hmm.
know, like I think up until then I had maybe like 10 or 11,000 followers. I woke up to like 30,000.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
Overnight.
overnight. And I did, I worked from home for my other job for about a few more months. And my boss, she was so supportive and wonderful. She saw the writing on the wall. She knew it was coming. I told her, I was like, I have to leave. Like, I have to go for this full time. Like,
Amazing.
this is my chance. And she fully supported it. And off I went. And from that moment on, this has been my full-time job. Like I
Amazing.
spend every day crafting these things. I spend at least 2 to 3 days thrifting. So that became a
Mhm.
part of my practice because yeah, I think of these concepts and then I try to like fulfill the image. But a lot of it is me walking up and down aisles of thrift stores and being inspired by the vessels that I find.
I love that a thrift store is part of your inspirational process, you know?
Yeah, I laugh all the time because my art stores, like my supply stores, are so unconventional. They're like the hardware store, the thrift store. There's like the bins, as they call them. Like I'm the state sales. Like this is where I get my art supplies from.
I love it.
I
And
don't
that,
think I could ask for any better job in the world to do
yeah.
that.
And I hope someone listening to this gets kind of inspired and does something like this. I mean, but I do want to go back to like, I mean, even your makeup is like so glam amazing. Like it's a work of art, you know?
Thank
You
you.
has anyone ever told you you look a little like Mercedes Javid from
Yes,
Jaws?
Mercedes. Yes, I love Mercedes. I used to love the shots so much. I haven't watched them in years, but I
I
love her.
heard there's like a version of it's coming back, but Mercedes is a queen.
She is. I love
I
her.
mean, and so gorgeous. And when I first got it, I was like, is this Mercedes? Like, I really thought one of your glam shots from one of your
That's so sweet.
interviews.
So sweet.
I mean, it's your makeup is part of, your brand. I mean, it's so
Mhm.
gorgeous. Is
Thank
that,
you.
are you like doing anything special? And I even feel like you kind of bring back some of that era correct makeup. Am I
Right.
wrong?
Well, thankful. This is why, like, all things just aligned for me in the stars and in the planets. I'm telling you, because ever since I could or was allowed to put on makeup,
Mm.
I have been doing the wing. Like the wing has been
Yeah.
the
And your
signature.
lashes, I mean,
It's
gorgeous.
it's just it felt right to me. It felt like it was my war paint, like it was like my
Mhm.
signature. And so, the 60s, like you're looking at some of like the most iconic like eyeliner queens of our
Yes.
like Peggy Moffat, like her makeup was so inspiring to me. And so it just all just stuck and made sense. Like it all just fit into my world very easily. And like why would I be bothered with anything that's happening currently in fashion and makeup when these queens, these women just showed us you could do this formula and look
Yeah.
like a goddess, you know? So,
Yeah. And if, I mean, if you would have asked me like 5 years ago if this podcast would be interviewing women like you that are like literally bringing back these things that were, it blows my mind. And I love it that it's somehow connected to a thrift store too. Like
right,
old of it all being saved and rescued.
right.
I love what you're doing. It's amazing.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to the deviled egg clock because this iconic piece has been, I'm sure people are stealing it.
Yes.
Tell us, can you give us like the history of it and like how many you've actually made at this point? Because you're being commissioned for this piece too.
Oh, yes. Okay, so in that very first collection of work, so when I decided to do this body of work during COVID, I did it because so gallery shows and art shows were no longer a thing, you
Mm.
know, because of social
Oh,
distancing, and a lot of them were closing because of it. So it was really a hard time for artists to put our work out there aside from just social media. So I decided to do a series of work, a body of work that was inspired by retro recipes, and I was going to present it on my website as a digital gallery. You know, so I had like an opening night, and I just decided to let's just all pretend together. So
yeah.
in creating that body of work, I really was just envisioning a spread, a table filled with all these wonderful, grotesque items to eat. And if you ask me, there like it's not a party unless there's a deviled egg there. Like that's just you
Mm,
can't. Yeah, how are you gonna have a good
true that.
time if there's no hard-boiled eggs on the table? So it only made sense to me that I had to put my favorite hors d'oeuvre, my favorite party appetizer in my collection. And one of my favorite plates I thrifted from many moons ago, I was just looking at it. You know, it's like, okay, I'm going to make deviled eggs, but how do I make it special? And I'm sitting there staring at it, and I realize that the slots of it are in the exact 12 spots for, you know, a clock. And it was like, once again, these things just make sense. Like there wasn't really any epiphany moment, but it was just like, yeah, clock, let's do it. Sure.
Yeah.
And I did it, and I put it in my digital show, and people lost their shit over it. It sold
Yeah.
immediately. And I priced it at like $400. I'm like, no one's ever gonna buy it. Boom, someone bought it like right away. And so I says to myself, I said, Leanne, I think you're onto something here.
Run with it. And
Run with it.
this is special because there's like glitter eggs and special colors. And I mean, this is special.
Yeah, it can take on, and that's my artist ability doing what it does, is just evolving and letting things again snowball. And one of my concepts in not just my art but my life really is to push it as far as it can go. Like how
Mm,
far can we let this go and still be acceptable? And so that is basically how I
it's
handle
amazing.
everything. Yeah, everything in my life. But these eggs, whatever the mood is, I can make an egg to suit it, you know? So,
Egg to suit a mood. I love that.
oh, yeah.
And I've got to know, Aunt Bethany's, it's a Butte Clark, Aunt Bethany's gelatin.
Aunt Bethany's kitty food gelatin, yes.
Unbelievable. I mean, have you sold that? Have you sold that piece?
I actually only made one of them, and I gifted it to my dad along with the Jelly of the Month Club membership for him, because
Incredible.
he and I, we have that special bond of Christmas Vacation, the movie. Like that's like we speak in those like quotes like all year round type of relationships.
The Butte Clark, yes.
Yeah, right. She's a mute. And so it, you know, when I made it, I was like, I cannot imagine anyone else having this except my dad. So I
Yeah.
gave it to him. Yeah.
That's even more special that it stays in the family. It'll be at the
I
estate
know.
sale, guys. It'll be at the estate sale.
It'll be there priced accordingly.
Priced accordingly. There you go. Well, I do want to ask about that, like your family, because this is so unique. I mean, obviously, your mom's an artist too, your brother, but like, how has your Latin community embraced you in all of this? I kind of love that you're including your Mexican heritage in all of this. That's special and nostalgic for that community.
It is, you know, a lot of this inspiration I said comes from my grandma. Like she helped raise me, and, you know, we are all like third and fourth generation Mexicans. Like we've been here for a long time. We're not like the traditional story of them immigrating here. And so we were like very immersed in Americana. We ate Jello every night for dessert in my grandma's household.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So again, things just all kind of Makes sense. But before, when I was a painter, I was specifically known for painting lowrider cars. I would call them lowrider portraits.
Oh, yeah.
And I would paint the women of the car scene. I really
Those
focused on,
rockabilly, amazing. Wow.
yeah, the big, I did, I really focused on a lot of like cholas and, Chicano women because I was really enticed by the beauty of car culture, but also the
Mm.
women in the culture who are looked at. Normally, when you think of girls in cars, you think of the girl like in the bikini against the car. I call them hood ornaments. But like I'm talking and I'm focusing on the women that build and ride their cars and take them to car shows and they go
Yeah.
cruising with the dudes and like I just had such a fun experience working in that realm and being a spectator and giving homage to these women in these cars. And so, yeah, I was really deep in it. I'm one of very few women artists that were featured in Lowrider magazine as a featured artist.
Amazing.
Yeah, which was up until, I mean, it still is one of my highest achievements. Like, I could really give myself because it's such a hard industry, a hard scene to break into, not just as a
Yeah.
woman, but really as an artist to
Mhm.
make work in that genre that stands out on its own and is outlandish and people embrace it. Like that's not common
Yeah.
at all. So my Chicanos and my Mexican friends really like they attach to me and they've a lot of them just have followed me into what I'm doing now and they all see it as
Amazing.
like, yeah, this makes sense for you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so yeah,
And such a nod to Riverside in that area too. I mean,
sure.
that's the culture. Wow.
Yes. And that's all
I
part of it.
love it.
Like both of my parents are from LA,
Mhm.
from Lincoln Heights and El Sereno. And so it
Such a
just
rich history. Yes.
such a rich history surrounded by so much visual, enticing things. And so as being a visual person, I just, put the brush to the canvas and let it do its thing. And
Yeah.
people were attracted to it. And so
Yeah.
I've always felt extremely supported in all the art that I've ever made, which
That's
is
amazing.
again rare. But that's literally what keeps like the wave under like my surfboard of life. You know what I mean? Just like cruising down like the waterway. So
ECH. Yeah. I
yeah,
love
cruising down the PCH thing.
it.
Yeah.
That's too cool. I'm glad that that's still like a rich part of, what you're continuing to do and spread that message. I it's amazing. Our customers, a lot of our customers here that are from the Hispanic community, they really, we're a segunda. That's like a saying that we say around here. Oh, you made a mistake. It's all right. We're a segunda. It's totally cool. We try and like keep that as part of it because it's a huge, rich part of secondhand shopping is
Yeah.
that community.
Yeah.
So I love that there's shoppers and that you're doing it with the art is a cool nod.
Thank you.
Um, I definitely have to ask about this table setting competition thing. This is a new hobby for you, but I feel like this is something we definitely need to chat about because there are thrifters that listen to this podcast that are all about this. Tell us more.
They should be all about it because it needs to come back. We're living in the dinner party renaissance right now.
Love that.
And so I am so into it. Just to touch broadly on the subject, dinner parties have become a forgotten art form.
Mhm.
We get like little trickles of it through social media because I know there's influencers out there who are into it also and are kind of bringing it back, which I fucking love. I'm sorry, which I love.
Yeah.
That's how excited I get about it. You see?
The dinner party scene. I love it.
Yes, but like we are living again in such a time of we're connected by the internet, but we're disconnected personally from each other. And this lost art form of throwing the dinner party is something I think was so beneficial and important in the past that
Interesting.
I think we need it again, breaking bread with the people that you love the most and having those intimate moments with your friends are so beautiful and necessary to enjoying this life, I feel like. And the art of the dinner party it's not for everyone. Not everyone is meant to be a host or hostess. It does take a
It's work.
wide range
Yeah.
of skills that you need in order to get it done. But what greater way to, or what greater craft to learn than to learn these rules and concepts that have been passed down from generations, to help you establish these moments and these events with your friends. Like it's so important. And so last spring, is when I really got into this because maybe it was 2 years ago. So I'm losing track of my timeline. We moved to Sacramento. So it was 2 years ago. We moved to Sacramento, and some friends of ours that we made out here decided to throw or to formulate a dinner party group. And so it's comprised of 4 couples, and each couple takes a turn hosting the other 3. And the rules are you have to have a theme, a signature cocktail, and a main dish. Those are like the bare minimum. Anything you
Same.
do outside of that, right, is up to you. But so we took turns, or we did it for about a year and a half, and it was just amazing. We had so much fun. All of my friends are incredible cooks, and doing it with a partner, like as a couple, makes it so much more fun and easier to, to get the job done. And so I just became like really enamored with this whole concept. Like I keep a journal, I log in all my dinner parties, I write down the menus so I don't forget them, my concepts for them. So I have like this big sketchbook that used to be for art, but now it's all my dinner party notes.
That's amazing. And you can totally incorporate your local thrift store so easily to
Well,
change your theme.
yes, no, I've walked the aisles and have picked up silver platters,
Wow.
boxes practically brand new,
Mhm.
so no, the thrift store, it comes in clutch when it comes to doing dinner party planning.
Amazing.
But so I'm knee deep in this, and then someone tells me, they go, "Oh, have you seen the documentary, the set documentary?" I said, "Wait, come again? What?" It's
What?
a documentary about competitive table setting, and I said, "Wait, stop. You're
Wow.
telling me I can compete for a title in table
And
settings?"
maybe get a blue ribbon or something fun.
Listen to me. So, so once I heard that, that's all I needed to know. I watched a documentary. It follows a group of participants in, I believe, the Orange County Fair. So, LA
Oh,
County,
at the OC fair. Okay. Okay.
yeah, they're the 2 biggest, most well-known table setting competitions in America. And so
No idea.
I had that, neither did I. Okay, and apparently this has been a thing like forever. And so I learned about that, and then I immediately looked up in my area, like, where can I get in on this? I need to participate. I need to have the title award-winning table setter under my belt. That needs to be on my resume. Like, I was not willing to rest until I got it. So Sacramento, where I live, for whatever reason, last year they decided to not hold their table setting competition.
Well, that
And
gives you an extra year to prepare.
well, I mean, I wrote to them, and I was like a very strong worded email to them. And they were basically like, well, there's not really an interest in it. And, I told them, I was like, look, there is a resurgence. And if you need somebody to spearhead this and get the word
Oh
out,
my God, you have to host it. Yes.
well, so they didn't take me serious. And so I kind of just, I gave up. But I found out that there was another table setting competition that was somewhat well known at the Mid-State Fair. And that was in San Luis Obispo. And I'm about to out myself right now on something that I have not talked about publicly.
Wow.
And it's kind of, I mean, okay, so listen, I did not know this at the time, but I was so set on being this competition that I went for it anyways. But when you apply to a county fair competition,
Yeah.
you must live in that county
Oh my God.
being held in.
And SLO is not close to
I
where
don't
you.
live there, but I have family that do.
Oh my
So,
God. It's like getting your kid into the right school.
yeah, that's how I looked at it. Honestly, this is for the good of my inner child. Like I had to get her in this competition. And so we used our family's address.
Amazing.
And I
Your
love
secret
it.
is safe with this podcast community, I
I
promise.
bet. And I went for it. And guess what? I got the second place ribbon.
There's a ribbon. Oh my God. I had no idea I was saying that. That's incredible.
I won second place at the California Mid-State
Oh,
Fair.
congratulations. That's totally going in your show notes.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was for a table inspired by My Fair Lady. And
Oh my gosh. Like with Audrey Hepburn and all the things.
yeah, I did the Royal Ascot Day, the opening at Royal Ascot. It was all black and white, but I did a big pop of magenta and hot pink to remind you of
Oh
Eliza.
my God. The Broadway musical in me is dying right now. That's
Oh,
amazing.
I went off on this table, and it was so great. And I didn't win first, but it's a whole other story and scandal, which is totally fine. But but
Of course there is, but there's always next year.
yes, there is. But I cannot no longer. I cannot lie my way through this life. I honestly, like, I had a full diaper like the whole time I was doing it because
Nervous. Yeah.
yes, like that's not I do not like to lie, but I want to win more than I wanted to lie.
And
So
what a great experience. Now you can come unscathed to the Sacramento market when they get that going again. You should
yeah,
really host it.
well, so that's the thing. So, like I said, and I firmly believe you don't need to fit in someone else's scene. You make your own.
Make your
Okay.
own,
I said the same thing
create your own.
at
Oh
my
my gosh.
gallery.
You
I
could do it
said,
on your page, your Instagram page.
listen, so I got together with some friends of mine in San Francisco proper who are connected with some of the main big venues and big parties that get thrown in the city.
Mm.
And you're the first to hear this publicly, by the way.
I'm dying.
We decided to formulate we are calling the International Table Setting Association. And this first weekend of June, we will be hosting the inaugural International Table Setting Competition in San Francisco.
Oh my gosh. Congratulations. You heard it here first, Thrifties. Reach out if you want to be part of this. Are you
Yes.
still taking submissions?
So we haven't opened it yet because the approval process and the planning is immense, and
The name is incredible, by the way.
well, my whole thing is this is like in line of the mentality of fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I want this to sound so established and official and international that people aren't even going to question it. They're just going to read that name and be like, oh, this is like the table setting competition.
You're going to get those people from Japan out here making like, fake food for
I
it.
hope so. So my idea and my dream and goal is, that I travel the world hosting this table setting competition.
This is incredible.
Because how fun would that be?
I mean, absolutely incredible. And I need someone from Colorado that does this. And I know that one of our listeners needs to go out there with all stuff from Arc Thrift. I will sponsor you to
if
do
there
this.
was a strictly Arc table, I will save one for you guys if you
Oh my
want
gosh,
to do that.
that'd be
There's
so
three
incredible.
categories, 10 tables in each category and up to 3 people per table per team.
10 categories. Wow. Okay.
No, 3 categories, 10 tables in each category.
10 tables each category.
So the categories are dining through the decades, pick a decade, and I should be able to look at that table and know exactly which decade it is. The second category is magical moments in cinema history. And then the third one is a freestyle category. So anything goes. And it's sure.
I can't believe that you just announced this on our podcast. Like,
me too. I had to call my team yesterday. It goes, can I tell them this? Is this allowed? And they were like, yes, absolutely. Like, just do it. So
yeah, and our listeners would be totally into this kind of thing. So if you're out there in the, central to northern California area, reach out.
yes,
Eldad will hook you up with the details. Is there an application online? Because someone's going to ask me that.
there will be. So we should have it live in about another month. We have the website is internationaltableassociation.org.
Give us the juicy scoop. Yay.
.org on there, so it looks really official. So we're internationaltablesettingassociation.org. We'll have an application on there. It's first come, first serve. Once the slots are full, we'll close. But if people drop out, then we'll go in the order of receiving people in there.
And you'll need sponsors. Let me know.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my God. Yes, 1000%. So yeah, if you're interested in it, start buying your table setting books because one of the things besides the act of gathering your people around you for dinner, one of the most amazing things that really got me so involved in this is that the rules of table setting since when they have began and have been written have not changed even in the slightest bit over the course of a few centuries. I bought a book that was first printed like in the 1800s, and then I got one that was published in 1942, and then I got one that was published in 2015. And I had these 3 books in front of me. They all said the exact same information. They just presented it differently, like how they worded it.
Wow.
There's
like the order of the utensils and that kind of thing, and the placement of
the rules, the placement of it. None of it has changed. And I found something strangely poetic and beautiful about that people have been putting their spoon like in the same place for like centuries,
And once again, you're preserving this piece of history.
Yes, the historical context to it just makes it even more exciting to me.
Gosh, I'm dead and dying. I can't believe this. Thank you for sharing that. Like, that's huge news.
Yeah, very
I don't even
excited.
know where to go from here now. I'm like, nah, because that is a really exciting turn of events, something that you're, and what great inspiration. If you're out there listening to this and you're kind of new to this world, you think your idea is wacky. It's not. It's
No,
not. You found your home. This is your community. Welcome. Please stay a while because it's a great place to live and be.
the world needs your wacky.
Mm,
Okay. The world needs your gaudy, your wacky, your tacky, all of it. None of it is
even
too
better.
much. I say it's not enough. All
Uh,
right.
go more. Go
Go
hard.
more. Go harder. Push it.
All right, share with us like one of those cool things that is like your unicorn item that you found at a thrift store.
Hmm. I actually just found it recently.
Ooh,
Yeah, and this is one of those things where I would walk into the thrift store and I take a deep breath and I say, today's gonna be the day I'm gonna find it. And I
and your
usually
song plays.
and my song plays. And then no, so I have okay, so my favorite thing to collect besides cookbooks from the thrift store is vintage colored glass. So
Mhm.
like Murano glass is like one of my favorite things, like the glass fake fruits, especially.
Oh, hard
Obviously,
to find. Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to find. But my ultimate prized possessions are my swung vases.
Mhm.
And I just think they're so gorgeous. Again, to play with light and color, like it's all just, ugh, I love colored glass. And I've always wanted to turn the corner down the vase aisle and just see a swung vase just
With a
standing there
spotlight
waiting
on
for
it.
with the spotlight and the angels doing the song. And it was like maybe like 4 weeks ago. I
Mm.
literally turned the corner. I go, it's gonna be today. I know it is. And I turned and I looked, and there it was. It
Mm,
was one of those red orange Viking glass
yes.
swung
You
vases.
need to come to Colorado. We got tons of that.
Oh, shut up! I'm on my way.
That's like our thing. We got some mid-century modern girls there, ladies, excuse me, that are like just collecting the heck out of that stuff. And they'll like resell it online for great prices because they bought it
Yeah,
at a good price. And
yeah.
oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, I
Yeah,
love that.
I'm not against a reseller. I'll pay the finder's fee, like because I've like been walking into thrift stores like hundreds of times and have not found it, and then
Ah,
finally I got it. So thank you. But no, no, no. I appreciate resellers who do the hard work for me for
and
sure.
that's the kind of thing you'll keep forever, right? You're not letting that
No,
go.
no, 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 no. I don't. The only things I what do they call it? What do you call it when you take something that not upsell you up?
You resell it? No?
No, 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 no. When you take something and you make it into something else and then you sell
Oh,
it.
upcycle. Yes.
Upcycle. Oh my God. I was like, I know I know the tip of my tongue. Too many terms. Yeah, so I will either upcycle things for art or it stays in my collection. There is no
One or
middle.
the other. Yeah.
Yeah, once it comes here, it stays here.
Well, what are you looking to manifest then? Anything you want to put out there? More of that glass, but anything else special that like maybe the thrift gods and Take My Breath Away will be playing at the exact moment that it turns up?
It's more colored glass to be honest, and it's actually a Murano parrot or cockatiel, those
Oh,
ones.
I don't know if I know that. Wow.
Yeah, they're just beautiful mid-century glass birds, and they are just so
Gorgeous.
gorgeous. It's like one of my top goals to find while I'm thrifting.
I always say this podcast has a way of bringing things to life, so you never know. I do have a question about your fashion. Do you wear things from the thrift store too? Are you a secondhand shopper for your wardrobe?
So I actually have been out of the secondhand clothing market for a really long time. I just recently got into it because as a plus size person who wants vintage, it's really hard to find.
They're tiny sizes, yeah.
Oh, all those little skinny minis out there in the
Yeah.
cute dresses.
But a
Now, don't
lot of
get me
people are
wrong.
upcycling them now to make them,
Oh, yes.
different
Oh, yeah,
sizes.
yeah, yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I am 100% a moo girl. Like, my collection is
Yes.
strong and bold, okay? But maybe I want to wear something fitted, but no. So I've always just kind of veered away from it because shopping plus size, especially secondhand, is like, I mean, shopping it firsthand is already a drag. Like, everyone
Yeah.
wants you to cold soldier shoulder and like a little flouncy sleeve. And it's like, what are we doing here? So,
Yeah.
but my local Goodwill recently rearranged all their clothes, so
Oh,
it's by size section. Before it was just by color, and I was like, "It's pretty, but what is this? Like, I can't. I'm not gonna.
hard to find. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of time." And so they've recently did the sizes, and there are a few hefty fashion mavens in my area because I have found some incredible finds. So now I'm actually gotten to the point where I don't buy any new clothes unless it's something like this, which was made by a company in San Francisco. So it's a local woman-owned business that supports artists. So those are the new items I'll go. But everything else now has been thrifted, or I have a whole slew of seamstress in my arsenal who, if I
Oh,
need
yeah.
something new, they'll make it for me, and they'll make it from like dead stock vintage fabric, or they'll make it from putting these things together. And so
That's
that's how
fascinating.
yeah, that's how I found success in vintage and being plus size
I
because
need to look into that. I need to talk to somebody in that dead stock fabric world. It's so fascinating because there's a ton of it, right?
oh yeah, absolutely. And it takes a certain type of person to want to look for it and then find it and then make incredible things with it.
Sure,
So
sure.
yeah, I know those people are gold to me.
Yeah, and I feel like there's warehouses right there in that San Francisco area housing all of that amazing stuff, right?
Oh my God, I found this huge bolt of fabric in the basement of a San Francisco store.
Doesn't
And
surprise
it
me.
was this giant roll of bar cloth. And it was like 90 yards. And I bought it for like 20 something dollars because it was so ugly, but I thought it was so beautiful. And I used it. I had my seamstress make me my dress, my tablecloth, my curtains, and my boyfriend, my
Catch the
fiance.
whole thing.
I was like, I'm going full Von Trapp with this, and I want like the clothes to match the curtains. Like, so when I did my solo show and with my food on it, it was just this ugly pattern all over the place, and it was like my dream come true.
But something beautiful about that too, those
Yes,
old fabrics. Oh, the Von Trapp of it all. You are into your Broadway. I love that.
I am. I'm a showgirl.
Great nod.
I'm a show pony. I can't help it.
So what's next for you? If we're following along on your journey, besides the International Tablescape Committee, what's next?
So that's major for me. So, well, more short term, this coming Sunday, the 25th, I'll be releasing my Valentine's Day collection on
Oh,
my
wow.
website. I have tons of really beautiful, sweet little nothings, as I call them, to send to your loved ones in a time when we need it most. We need to spread the joy. I say to everyone, we mustn't
Yes.
let them steal our joy. We must keep things happy and whimsical in the face of, despair. So, I'm doing my part to keep that alive. So I have my release on the 25th. I have the table setting competition coming in the first weekend of June. So if you're following me on my Instagram, you'll definitely see me posting about when the submissions will be open for that.
Perfect. Oh, I certainly hope everyone takes a minute, just go follow along. You don't
Please,
miss this opportunity. And I always like to say that this podcast is devoted to normalizing secondhand so that people are like, oh, it's cool and normal to go into a thrift store and buy everything you can imagine, whether you're an artist or an upcycler, whatever you're into. And it's people like you that are like taking it to the next level. So we can't wait to watch what you do next. Thank you for your service to our industry. We are eternally grateful.
oh, you're so sweet, of course.
This is going to be a very exciting podcast. I can't wait to see the comments. Come on, all of you. Just give me your comments and tell me to stop using the word girl. I'll never do it again. So funny. It's one of those days. I love it. You are amazing, Elrod. We are lucky to have you. As we end every pod, we love to give a shout out to my personal hero, one Miss Dolly Rebecca Parton. And I got to see some of your amazing artwork dedicated to our queen. Thoughts, feelings, anything you'd like to share or show about Dolly Parton?
Three things. First of all, happy birthday, Queen. Your birthday was on January
Yes.
19th. 80 years young, our girl.
Amazing.
um, I also want to take this moment to publicly give my praise and thanks and hail her as one of the goddesses of good hair in the name of Dolly Parton, Priscilla Presley, Raquel Welch, amen.
Yes.
She's one of my girls. I wanted to show you, and I had to show this just because not only was it thrifted,
Oh my
but so
God.
I collect vinyl, and I only have two types of vinyl I collect. One of them is 1960s, like your grandma's like collection full of Henry Mancini and Engelbert Humperdinck. Like I can't get enough.
Gilbert, no.
Engelbert Humperdinck. Like I love that music. So half of it is this hilarious brand new music. The other half are I really love colored vinyl reprints or whenever they re-release vinyl, like in some really cool color.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is actually
Oh
a
my gosh.
version of Dolly Parton's Baby I'm Burning disco version. And
Wow.
it's a
Oh,
pink.
it's pink.
Look at it.
Oh, I'm dying.
Isn't that
Gosh, and that
beautiful?
picture is incredible too. I mean,
Isn't that
wow. I mean, that is a different time. What year was that?
1978? So
Wow.
this is like her disco era, her version of disco era.
Obsessed. I
Isn't
love
that
it that you just
gorgeous?
could pull that out. You're the first person to whip something out on our live YouTube. Yay. Shout out.
Well, you know,
Mexicitch.
I say we should never really have parasocial relationships with celebrities because they're all humans and they could do bad stuff at any time or make a mistake, and then, all of a sudden you're regretting your decisions. I will never get a living person or really any celebrity tattooed on me except Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
The only
She could
person
do no wrong, right?
no wrong, Maggie.
She really is. And like, she is the great unifier. And that's like one of the reasons no one has a negative thing to say about her. She stays out of the fray. She doesn't get involved. She doesn't pick a side. And she brings me joy. I'm so glad you love her.
Oh my God, she's a beacon of light to anyone who embraces the ticky-tacky world of gaudiness. And I think of her all the time when she says, I paid a lot of money to look this
To look
cheap.
this cheap.
And,
Yes.
and I am a rhinestone in a diamond world, baby. Like I have many facets, I'm colorful, and I'm tacky.
Yes. I mean, she really is. You guys have a lot in common. The big hair, too. I love that.
People all the time, they go, God, I love your hair. And I'm always like, Dolly, I'm like, oh, you can buy it online just like me. I
It's
have no
for
shame
sale.
in the wig wearing game.
Elrod, you're an absolute delight. We have loved having you. We are grateful, grateful, grateful for your time. Tell our listeners again how they find you, follow you, send you all the love, and then hopefully buy some iconic piece from you that ends up in their own personal estate sale one day.
Ah, that's the dream right there. You guys, you can follow me at Mexikitsch, Mexakitsch, on the socials. Mexikitsch.com is my website. It's where you can buy my work when it's ready. It does tend to sell out relatively quickly, and I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just letting you know if you want to get in on it.
Get on early.
Get there early. Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely love it. Thanks, Leanne. We appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you, Maggie. This has been wonderful.
And Thrifties, thanks so much for tuning in once again to the Get Thrifty podcast. Reminder, save our pod and leave us a 5-star review about how funny, creative, and smart we are. And if you're part of this unique thrift culture, we'd love to have you on. You know how to find me on Instagram at Podcast with Maggie, and follow ARC on Instagram at ARC Thrift, now on TikTok at ARC Thrift Stores, and on YouTube at ARC Thrift. Thanks so much and have a wonderful week.
Hunt for it, find it, make it your own. It's the Get Thrifty Podcast.